we continue to share some of the stories and adventures that we've had in our life of giving. You know, we hear at God's voice, but we don't always know that it's God's voice that we're hearing.
No kidding. Had been a Christian for probably a year and a half, when I was shaving one Monday morning, and I had got this thing in my head that I had to go to the local pastor and tell him that on the Wednesday, when he goes to Durban, not to worry, I would pay for his air ticket. And I thought, what on earth is that? Where would that come from? I shouted out to Gill. I said, the food must have been off last night. I'm hearing things in my head. She comes down and she says to me, I think God is speaking to you. Maybe you should go and tell this bloke. So I popped up to the man's and I told him the story about how he was going to Durban. He said, look, I could see him, you know, his nostrils sort of, you know how those nostrils go like that, and smelling just to see maybe I'd been near something, and all he could smell was Colgates, quite frankly. He said to me, look, I'm not going anywhere for the next 6 months, so maybe the message was for someone else. Went home and I was bitterly disappointed.
The next day he phoned and he said, you remember your story about the air tickets? Well, my wife's father died last night in Durban, and we would dearly like you to get us those air tickets. Well, it was amazing, we did. But here's the thing, Romans 12:13 says, contribute to the needs of God's people and welcome strangers into your home. We did contribute to their needs, but what we hadn't realized is that we also had to welcome strangers into our home because they asked us to look after their kids while they were away. But once again, we learned that God knows what we need before we even ask Him. And if we'll just obey Him, and it's much easier to do that when we are fully persuaded that we are highly favored and deeply
loved.